Hi, team. This is Joseph Bradley, author of Questioneering and Technology Executive. First off, I want to thank all of my followers for really placing Questioneering for several weeks at the top of Amazon's new release in business management. Thank you for all that great support. Today, I wanted to talk to you about diversity and inclusion, the difference between diversity and inclusion. And secondly, I had an opportunity to have a very engaging conversation this week with about 65 CEOs for about an hour and a half. And part of this conversation, we talked about a very, very important topic. And that is, what does diversity and inclusion mean in a world where our teams are made up of machines and artificial intelligence? Okay, let's first start off with diversity and inclusion. What is the difference? There is a difference. Diversity is the potential to create value, meaning that you have a room or you have an organization, you have a team that is made up of diverse individuals, whether diversity that you can see or diversity of thought. But that room, that team, that environment is made up of diverse individuals. It is, however, the potential to create value. Inclusion is the realization of that value by the full participation of those team members, of those individuals in a conversation, in business decisions. In other words, their voice is being heard. I've often said inclusion is not just the right thing to do, but it is the profitable thing to do. Why do I say that? There's been a great some work released by a great organization called Cloverpop, and also in their talent management review institute. And there's some great facts that I think we should come to light and really talk more about as we think about leading our organization. One is it is a fact now that diverse teams make better decisions 80% of the time as composed to those made by non-diverse teams. When you think about cash flow per employee, diverse teams generate 2.3 times the cash flow per employee than non-diverse and non-inclusive teams. When you think about their ability to empower their team, their ability to share their knowledge, diverse and inclusive teams are 3.8 times more likely to coach and improve the performance of their people. So in other words, inclusion is not just the right thing to do, but the profitable thing to do. Okay, now let's talk about, well, what does inclusion and diversity mean in a world where we have machines and artificial intelligence? Well, let me tell you, the first thing and the biggest challenge in a world where you have machines and AI is bias. How do you eliminate bias? And when you think about bias, it's a known fact, right? We all know it exists, and we all work and try to improve it each and every day. But yet the fact still remains. If you're a woman and you happen to have the same job qualification in the US as a man, the latest results show that you will earn 22% less. If you happen to be an African American accused of a crime, the same background of a Caucasian, you happen to receive a 20% longer sentence. We all know these things are not right. We all working to improve them, yet the bias exists. And there's all types of bias, whether it's stereotyping, images that we portray on individuals, where it's confirmation bias, right? Where we believe it, we believe it so much that therefore it must be true, or whether it's that of the gambler's fallacy, where we think if something has happened 5 or 6 times, something else is going to happen after that, when we know the rules of probability remain the same. All types of biases exist. But in the world of AI, in the world of machine intelligence, this bias can be very, very dangerous. First thing that we got to understand is, if you look at the makeup of the individuals that are creating these programs, who are the people that are creating these programs? If the source of the creation of AI, if the source of the creation of machine learning happens to be from a predominant gender group, or happens to be from one location or part of the world, if you happen to not be in that gender group or you happen to be not in that location of the world, you should be concerned. You should be very concerned. Big issue. Once it's ingrained in a system, once it's ingrained in the program, once the bias is ingrained in the selection process, it is extremely difficult to remove that bias. So, as a leader, and we all are going to experience machine learning, artificial intelligence, we're all going to experience that as part of our day-to-day lives as we move more and more and more deeper into the digital age. By 2020 alone, over 50% of the talent acquisition programs will have some sort of artificial intelligence and or machine learning algorithms. So if you're a business leader and you're thinking about, what do I do? The whole purpose of the book of questionnaire is to give you the skills and the tool sets to be able to ensure that you understand that in order to achieve breakthrough innovation, in order to achieve those higher level results, you got to make sure that you're asking fundamentally the higher value questions. These are 4 high value questions. If you're thinking about the implications of artificial intelligence, especially as it relates to inclusion and diversity, or you're thinking or considering about implementing any type of artificial intelligence program or machine learning program, these are 4 questions that I would tell you to ask. Number 1, be really, really clear on what decisions you are entrusting to AI. If I ask most individuals what decisions do they allow their people to make, they got to pause, they got to think about it. It's not written down anywhere. When it comes to AI, you got to be very, very clear as a leader. What are the decisions that you want and or expect that AI program to make? Number 2, critically important. You can't take a black box approach. You got to understand. First thing about understanding is ask the question, how has the program eliminated bias in the data? Got to ask the question. Fundamentally, how have you eliminated bias in the data selection pool? Third question, very, very critical. Where has the AI program made an incorrect decision and why? That is critically important because that eliminates this concept of the black box. You want to be able to understand, where has it made an incorrect decision? Where has it chosen or made a decision that you believe or the programmers believe or your people believe was incorrect? And why did that occur? Finally, you got to decide, are you going to let your customers, are you going to let your employees know when they're engaging with an artificial intelligence? Many sites today, people are chatting away using chatbots and have no idea that they're talking to someone that's not human. Those are the 4 questions I think you should consider as a business leader. Thank you for your time. We'll talk again, and you guys have a great, great week. See you later. Bye-bye.